Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerds Fun 5 started playing paintball in 2001. In 2003, he went pro with the Oakland Assassins. He's played with Oakland Blast. He's played with Aftermath. He's played with Damage. He's played with the Naughty Dogs. He's played with Impact. He's played for Excessive. He's played for Dynasty, and he's now on Houston Heat. He's co-host of Play the Game podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Tyler Harmon.
Let's go.
Yeah. Dude, stoked to have you.
You're the man. I'm stoked to be here, dude. I love what you're doing with this broadcast and everything that you're doing in the game and everything that you've done in the game. You've been a part of this game for so long, so I appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, man. You know, you and Marcelo with your podcast help inspire this podcast. So thank you.
Dude, it's been fun, as you know.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude. I'm happy that more paintball content is coming out.
Yes.
I want to share something with you because you may or may not be aware, but you've had a big impact on my life and my career. Were you aware of this?
No, to be honest.
So it was 2005, maybe 2004.
Yeah.
We were playing 7-man. It was semi-pro, and it was either to get to the finals or it was for first place. I don't remember which one
now.
It was.
Yeah, it was for first.
I lost to you in a one-on-one, and it was devastating.
Dude, I remember that, and that was the first time that Bob Long's team had ever won a pro tournament in the United States. So after that game, that big old bear came up and gave me a hug, and he was like, "You did it, little buddy," and me and you were always like the youngsters in the game. So it was definitely a crazy game. And I actually biffed it a little bit in that one-on-one and kind of got lucky that I caught you moving. I remember that game vividly.
Dude, thank God you remember this, because if it was just my memory of losing, it would have been awful. I'm happy that it was a triumphant moment for you, because I was, even though it sucks to lose, you were making your way up through the ranks, and I know that was a big victory for you, and I'm happy that you remember it,
dude. and I'm grateful for those moments, man. You have had such a storied career in paintball as well. From when you first got in the game, you were chomping at the bit, super hungry, and putting people on notice that you're coming for their spot, and it was really exciting to watch you flourish as you came up through the ranks. And that inspired me, and when I didn't know it was you in the one-on-one, I was just like, damn, I cannot lose this for the boys. And I got lucky, because I dove out of the snake. I was kind of in nowhere. And then I dove into the Dorito side and I lost you for a second, and you moved. And I just thankfully picked you up. Otherwise, you would have shot me up my side from that move. Yeah. So it was a crazy game.
I was trying to catch you off guard, dude.
I know.
You caught me right in the open, dude.
Oh, that was a crazy one. And that was at the Denver Mile High Stadium, where the Broncos play.
That's right.
Yeah. Thin air up there.
I miss 7-man. I do.
Oh man. Talk to me, dude. It was some fun times.
Do you like X-Ball more?
I personally like the fast-paced style that we have because it's super athletic. Now, I don't think that the pros need to do everything that everybody else does. I actually am a huge proponent of us completely changing the way that the pros play compared to everything else. I don't think that the style that I play needs to be for everybody, because it's not for everybody, and that's totally fine. But there's some really powerful accentuations on the pro level game that we can heighten if we make some minor alterations and really make that product of playing pro paintball the best product it can possibly be. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build this product that we can sell to the world so that they can enjoy this game that we all love so much. So I think that if we really put that on our shoulders and make the pro product something special, and like I said, pro skateboarding isn't for everybody, pro snowboarding isn't for everybody, pro MMA isn't for everybody, and there's so many different sports. But if you look at the pro level of each one of those facets, they're a little bit different than what everybody else does. So I think we need to think about that moving into the future.
Well, you said something interesting. You said paintball is a game, right? And is paintball at the professional level a
Mhm.
game, or is it a sport?
It's both. Just like football's a game and a sport, you got to play the game. It's not just a podcast. You see the light back here? You know what I mean? You got to play the game. Each sport is its own game, and you've got to understand that game. And paintball is a beautiful game and a magnificent sport, and it's one of the most difficult sports in the world. I challenge anybody to go out there and play paintball, and I guarantee you're going to be gassed, and you're going to be like, "Wow,
Yeah.
these guys are and girls are amazing at what they do."
So if we when I say we, I'm talking about paintball players, the paintball industry as a
Mhm.
whole. If we want to appeal to a broader audience, do you think a broader audience is more apt to play a game or engage in a sport?
Hmm. Well, I think you got to marry them somehow. You got to bring the best of both worlds and find the happy medium to present this thing to the masses. And I mean, I'm going to assume that the game that we see make it to the masses won't be what we thought it would be.
Hmm.
It's going to be something else. And I don't know what that is, but I know that we have to get crafty and we have to marry the game because it's an amazing game. You have to, it's cat and mouse. It's like it goes back to this
Yes,
innate thing that we have inside of us as humans, and it's hardwired in our DNA.
it
This
is.
game that we're playing.
You
So
see it
that's
with
why,
children, dude. You
yeah,
give them a toy gun, you make a Lego gun and hand it to them, and they're gonna run around and it's
yeah.
and you don't they don't teach them this; they just do it.
Yeah, I don't know where in the DNA structure it's at, but it's in there, and we're hardwired for this amazing game. And you know, I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm just grateful to be able to play it. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the organization I play for, Houston Heat, Mama D, Sarge, the whole camp, coaching staff, everybody. We have an amazing game. We have an amazing team, and my dream is that someday we can build this thing up to where, these youngsters that are coming up in the game are going to have an amazing future. That's all I want. I don't care about me really. I don't, obviously I care about me. I care about right now and everything, but man, we got to think about these kids. We got to think about the younger generation that's coming up. We got to pass them an amazing tool that they can
Mm.
use to take this to the next level. And, my dream is that someday we'll have these youngsters having an amazing future with paintball. And that if nothing else in my entire career, my entire time in this game, that is my dream, is just to build the best product we can so that we can keep this thing thriving for many, many years to come.
Well, I mean, you've just spoken it into existence, so we're halfway there, right?
Boom. Let's
Because
go.
he pretty much everything that you've set your mind to and tried to achieve, I believe thus far you've achieved it, right? So we're batting 1,000 in the right
We're
direction.
getting there. We're
We're
getting
getting
there.
there. So, so Tyler, man, you've had some amazing memories in paintball. I've witnessed some of them myself, but I don't want to speak for you. Tell us about your most favorite memory in paintball.
Jeez. My most favorite memory in paintball, definitely winning World Cups. I've won a couple of those. I've won one of the 7-man tournaments on Huntington Beach soil.
Mm.
Dynasty typically won every single one of those. And Oakland Blast got a win at Huntington Beach against Edmonton Impact one year. So I hold that one pretty high up there. Um, yeah,
Who
I
was on that
mean,
squad?
that was me, Zach Long, Riley Sullivan,
Yes.
Chris Wilson. We had the Shows brothers, and
Yes.
yeah, it was a really good squad. We had a great squad there.
Right on, dude.
And then I think another game that is my favorite is the one where I jumped. It was the craziest thing. It was like 2013. I think it was Dallas. It was the first tournament, the first or second tournament I'd played with Dynasty. And prior to coming into Dynasty, people were like, is Dynasty what's Dynasty gonna do? Dynasty always does well, but they had been in a slump for like 3 or 4 years. And then myself, Kyle Spica, Brandon Short jumped on the squad, and we ran it up in that first year. We got like a few W's. We took the series title. But in this game against Infamous, I jumped through the air and I just shot someone off the break. I read the seam and I cut through the middle of the field. I shot Nicky Cuba in his pack, and then I jumped through the air and sent like 2 paintballs at God, I can't remember his name, but he
Like
was
over
playing.
the top of a bunker, you jumped up.
No, I was in the middle of nowhere. Just there's no bunker. I'm just running through the middle of the field, and I just shot a guy off the break, and then I cut through the 50 by the center 50, and then as soon as I passed the 50, I got Nicky Cuba, and then when I passed him, another player opened up, and there's no bunker. I'm just running through the middle of the field. But then he turns to shoot at me, and I jump through the air like a missile. And while I'm in the air, I was able to pull off a couple shots, and one of them hit him, and he missed me. And then he was like, what the heck? And then I did a roll on the ground, and I got up, and I was like, you missed me. I was going crazy. And then Kyle Spica went through and hung the flag, and we won that game and moved on, and we won the tournament. But we were about to be out of the tournament if we didn't win that point. And it was like there was 1 second left when we hung it. So it was crazy.
I think I saw that. Okay, so this was an X-ball match, and was Oliver on the squad?
Yeah, Ollie was
And
with
you guys
us.
sent a guy out wide to the snake side corner, and then you and Oliver ran up the center.
Yeah.
And as you're running up the center, you like dove into the air, shooting left, and like just ended up getting up. Oliver went through, shot the guy on the left, and the guy I don't know who ran out to the snake side, but he came around and grabbed the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of those points that like you just never forget. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And that's one of the I appreciate that, because normally when I ask about these memories, it's usually in a game, like a single game, like a 7-man or 10-man format where, it's on the line if we're going to make finals or not, or move on. So it's this one moment, one move that's really the difference maker. And I feel like we don't see enough of that in X-ball. People are either winning the whole time or they're losing the whole time. But those tense moments, like you guys had with it's 1 point, and if we don't make it, we're out.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite moments in paintball, and I think that's why I prefer formats other than X-ball, because it's difficult to get those moments in X-ball these days, I think.
That was in the PSP days. So that was 5 versus 5. But yeah, the games have been crazy. Every single team in the pro division made it to Sunday. I don't know if we've ever seen that or how long it's been since we've seen that, but that's what you want to see in the pro bracket. So it's good that the competition is really stepping up, and we just got to continue making the product the best product we can make it, and keep having fun with it.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, you've played with everyone, man. Yeah, I think it's easier to list the people that you have not played with. So who's been your favorite teammate over time?
Man, I've spent almost a decade with Oakland, and then I spent, I think 8 or 9 years with Dynasty, and I've been with Heat for a few years. So I'll just say that through all that time, I've learned so much from so many different players, and I'm so grateful for everyone that I've been able to play alongside, because I seriously feel like the luckiest guy in the world to have been able to learn from so many people and ask so many questions, because essentially that's what it comes down to. The only way you're going to get good answers is if you ask good questions, and if you care enough to open yourself up and ask questions. A lot of times that's a scary thing. You're out on the wire when you ask questions, and you can maybe look stupid or, feel dumb even, but when you ask good questions, you get good answers. So I just want to say thank you to all my teammates, all my coaches, all the organization owners that I've ever been able to just talk with, because that's really the best thing. I don't know, man. The GOAT Ollie is up there. Obviously, playing with Oliver was timeless. I could name so many players on my team that I absolutely love, and I'm having the most fun ever on Houston Heat. These guys rock, and they're hungry, and we're coming for it all, so everybody watch out. And in the early years, I got to play alongside Bob Long. You know what I mean? Like, I got to play with Bobby.
That's nuts,
and he is just such a legend. The guy has a different type of hardwiring, and I learned that the hard way in my early years, with the guys, the camp that he had around. There was no BS. It was like, you learned quick, and I'm super appreciative for that. And I like to carry that energy into my life. And I'm just grateful I got to pick Bob's brain and ask him a bunch of good questions. So I'd have to throw it at Bobby too. Right
on. How about favorite player to watch?
Favorite player to watch? I really enjoy watching Konstantin Fedorov play. Yeah. He is definitely one of my favorite players to watch. I also have to say that Kid Arch, the guy is just
Mm,
masterful when you watch him play. The way he processes information, the way he makes decisions, just and sticks with it no matter what. Like he knows the path.
yeah.
And that's a really powerful thing, to not second guess yourself. You're all you got out there. It's just you.
Mm,
If you second guess yourself, you're already 50% disadvantage to somebody that's not second guessing. So it's a really powerful thing to see live in action. Um, yeah, there's so many great paintball players out there. It's amazing that we have all of this telecom that we can, take advantage of, and everybody can see all these amazing things that they do, because we didn't really have that back in the day. I had a
true.
VHS I just about burned a hole in, and that was what we had.
Yeah. Well, which one were you watching?
It was push nonstop.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one, dude.
Shout out to your
I
hat.
watched yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed. I watched a video called Game On. This was a little bit before Push. It was a
Yeah.
JT video. There's a couple Trauma Head videos
Oh
I
yeah.
burned holes in, just
Yep.
watching over and over. I could quote the guy like "Take a walk, Blondie." He was
Yeah.
like this this dude that would narrate on Trauma
I got a
Head.
great
So
one. I
good.
got crawling and balling, making
Oh
his way
yeah.
down the snake. Yeah.
Either hoe or pro, but you don't know.
He was the best, dude.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So Tyler, man, what's your most cherished paintball item that you have?
my most cherished paintball item. Good thing I brought this thing out, because I have a couple of them right here. And
Nice.
um, this one, I got to give love to Terry Fong. He helped me bring this to life. Is my dragon
Dang,
intimidator,
dude.
and it's the original from like back when I first started. This was like what started me off in the game, was
That's
this
badass.
amazing paintball marker. And it has like the original Bob Long little reg on there, and all the Bob Long grips. I had a Techna trigger on mine. I'm still trying to find a Techna trigger. They're insanely expensive. So if anybody knows of the claw Techna trigger for the Timmy, I'm definitely in the market. And then it has this original Assassins barrel on there as well, if you can see that. So it's
So
got
is
like,
this gonna be on the wall, or are you gonna bust this bad boy out?
well, this is actually my son Theo's, or Max, whoever wants to
Oh,
play. I got them one of these, and I actually have two of them. There's another one in the closet that I have. I got them each a dragon. So whenever they're ready, if they choose to play paintball, or not, or if maybe their friends want to go play, they have a paintball marker to play with. But yeah, this is something that I still bust out and will go play with.
dude, but isn't the thought of playing with your children paintball, like, isn't that an amazing? That's just like an amazing thought to me. Like my kids
It
too,
is.
but I look at guys like Steve Rabikoff, and his son is at the top of the game, and it's like that is so awesome. And you look at the Shows family, like their whole family played paintball together. The Paxson family, the Adamson family, and like that's got to be living the dream, right?
Straight up. That is
Like you
living the
can't
dream.
force it on them though. But like
Yeah.
I want that, dude. I want that so bad. Like it's
And
I can't even
it
describe
is going to happen. The only thing is, you don't want to start them too young, because you kind of spook them. So
it.
it
Yeah,
has to be like around 9, I feel like. I've taken Theo out, and we just do training where he is able to just shoot the marker, do some target practice, kind of get used to holding a paintball marker, and I'll even run around and let him like shoot me while I run around. Which definitely stings when you're not playing. I feel like your adrenaline's going and you're kind of more ready for it.
yeah. So they're
um,
just running around taking it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank God
So
there's Jelly Ball these days.
that's
You can
right.
like acclimate kids with the Jelly Ball, then the
Yes,
50 cal, the
that's
low
right.
impact. There's like so
Totally.
many more ways compared to like when we were children. Like
Hmm.
there's so many more ways for younger kids to like get their feet wet.
True.
Because real
Very true.
paintball when you're 10 years old is pretty scary. You got
Oh,
grown men
100%.
yelling, and like
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to shoot myself in the shoe and run away.
It is definitely intimidating. And
Yeah.
that was one of the things that Rich Telford told me when I was still a rookie. I remember this vividly, being on Twisted Kids. I must have been 11 years old in Modesto at Extreme Paintball. And Rich Telford
Mm.
tells me, he's like, don't be timid. I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
what did he just say to me? Don't be a tipman. I don't know. Don't, like that. Because I have a tipman. I'm shooting a tipman. And I was like, don't be a tipman. What is this guy
Should I
saying?
sell this? What do I do?
Yeah. And he was telling me, don't be timid. Don't be afraid. Like this is an intimidating game that you're stepping into. But if you're going to do something in it, you can't be scared. You gotta,
Mm,
you gotta be wide eyed and you gotta be ready to go. And you gotta be ready for some pain too, because it is paintball and it stings a little bit.
mhm.
So my kids are definitely very interested. I feel like Max is a little bit wilder, so he might get into it maybe a little more than Theo, but Theo's like my athlete, so I'm not sure which one's going to play, but they both love it. We play a ton of Gel Strike. Thank you HK Army for sending me over those, and we play with the youngsters. I got a field out front and it's got a bunch of bushes. We treat it like bunkers and we just bunker each other all day out there.
Dude, that's the American dream right there, dude.
It is. We're having fun, man. The Harmon house is definitely having some good times.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, what advice would you give to a younger player that wants to reach the top of paintball?
Hmm. Jeez. Be patient. Be patient, man. Don't think that all the glitter isn't what the glory looks like. Is like, it's not all gold. So you see all these reels, you see all these highlight reels of everyone's life, and you think it happens overnight, but it does not. It took
Mm,
me, you know, a long, 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 long time in pro to get really good. Not, I've been playing pro now for 20 years. And when I first started pro, I was able to hold my own and play some ball and get eliminations and be a good teammate. But it took me a long time in pro to really feel like, okay, I got a grasp on this. I know
mm,
which direction we're going here. I know what needs to be done, what isn't going to help us. So it's just being patient with yourself. And you have to have a certain level of determination and you can never quit. If you're going to do something and you really love it, don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever let anybody tell you to quit. Don't ever let those thoughts come into your head. And if they do, appreciate them and let them empower you. Let them move you forward with power, because I would be lying if I said all my days are bright and sunny. They are not, and
mm,
it takes a certain wherewithal to transmute those thoughts into power, into something that's going to drive you forward. And it's something that takes, practice. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to re-hardwire your thoughts and make sure that you're pushing yourself in the right direction, because as humans we have emotions, we have a whole emotional guidance system, and it's very easy to be swept away in certain emotions. But if you can hardwire your thoughts to propel you with some power and listen to awesome things like Paintball Nerd and cool shows out there that inspire you and keep you,
PTG.
yeah, let's go some PTG, and just make sure that you surround yourself with good energy. It's very difficult to do, but you'll find that when you have a few good people in your life, it can be really something powerful. And the paintball field is where I have found all of the greatest people in the world. So play paintball, stay determined, be patient. And like I said, actually on a video, a dirter or no, God, who was the guy we were just talking about that says balling and crawling?
I don't know his name. Trauma head guy.
Trauma
Don't know
Head.
his
It
real
was a
name.
Trauma Head
Yeah.
video. Yeah, I said on this old Trauma Head video was, play people who are better than you, work on your running and shooting, work on your snap shooting. All those fundamentals will really carry you very far, because at the end of the day, all paintball is a bunch of one-on-ones. So if you can get
Mm,
really good at playing one-on-ones and outsmarting your opponent and knowing when and when not to take shots and where from out of your bunker, that's going to make you a really good paintball player as well.
mm. So it sounds like it's not so much the destination of reaching pro, some status. It sounds like it's day after day after day, taking one step, putting it in front of the other, and doing the
Mhm.
work. It's the journey. It's not the destination.
Absolutely, man. That's the good stuff. If it
Yeah.
was all easy and everybody be millionaires, everybody would be on pro teams, and it is not easy. It is,
Yeah.
no matter what you do in life, you got to just, stay as positive as you can, move through the BS, embrace the schlep is like a motto. That's a really powerful one. Embrace the hard times, because
Yeah.
those are really what will make you so strong moving forward. And, you have 2 ears, one mouth. Try to listen to people and really hear what they're saying so that you can, have a really good outlook on where you're going. But like I said, it is so easy to say. It takes an immense amount of work.
Mm. I was just talking with Rich recently, and we're talking about how for paintball, you have to absolutely love this game with every fiber of your being, because the amount of work and effort it takes to get to the top would have any rational person quitting, right? Like it's too
Yeah,
much. Like you could put the same effort towards being a lawyer or a doctor or playing guitar and make,
totally.
make a lot of money.
Yep.
But we choose paintball because it's our passion. We're in love with it, right?
Absolutely. No, you hit it right on the head there. We do not make millions of dollars playing paintball, but what we do make is some of the greatest memories and
Yep. And friends.
experiences you'll ever have.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, Tyler, what would you say that you're most thankful for that paintball's given you?
I am most thankful for this community of people. As we see time and time again, they're always there for each other. And it's a very unique community in sports. It's not mainstream, it's really tight knit. And there's a lot of people that love this game and want to see it flourish into the future like we all do. So I would say the community and the relationships, being able to ask good questions to people that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to ask those questions to from different walks of life. So
Mm,
anytime you go to the field, you'll see that everyone's looking out for each other. If there's bullies, we mitigate that pretty quickly and make sure they know that's not going to fly. This is how it runs, and making sure we take care of everybody. But it's a special game, and I feel so
yeah,
lucky to have been able to play this for so long.
absolutely. Awesome. Well, Tyler, dude, thank you so much for your time here. Is
Dude,
there
thank you,
anything that
Zai.
you'd like to part with for the paintball community?
Yes, thank you, Houston Heat. Thank you to our sponsors, DLX, HK Army. Shout out to Meta. Shout out to HK Army and everything that they're doing. D's on Docs. And then
Yeah.
PTG. Thank you for everyone who tunes into PTG and our sponsors, Transfuse, Lone Wolf, HK, and Bio CBD, which is really amazing stuff. And thank you, Zai, for everything that you're doing in the game, man. I know you're having fun with this. It is so much fun to pick people's brains and just hear the way that they navigate paintball fields and life in general. So I hope
Yeah.
you and your audience continue to have fun with the show, and much success to all of you guys.
Thanks, Tyler.
Absolutely, bro. Peace.